Hey y'all, welcome back to the Late Night Vision Show. Another special edition. We've got another interview. It is SHOT Show week. You're seeing this on first day of SHOT Show, and we want to bring y'all all the latest and greatest in the breaking news that's coming out for 2022. Got another guest, another show, and this one right here is going to be. This show's going to get a lot of attention. I can tell you that. This might be one of the first ones that people jump to when we're releasing all these shows. But I'm going to let Jason, as usual, introduce our special guest today. And he's got a nice setup there. I can see it right now in his fancy office with some mounts on the back. So he might have to tell us a little bit about that. But Jason, who do we got here today? We all know him, but let everybody else know who we got here today.
That's right. Oh, he's a celebrity. They all know. We have got Mr. Casey Cochran with iRay USA from the big home office here in Texas. So all of us are coming to you live from Texas. So Casey, welcome to the Late Night Vision Show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Absolutely
to be on here.
This is where we should cue the fake
go ahead.
applause, but when our guests but
That's
we
right.
haven't done that yet. Production is low.
Well, I tell you what, Casey, what is your title there?
I'm the director of sales for iRay USA.
Director of sales. Okay, that's a big title. And I'll say this: we've been trying to get y'all on for a long time. Tyler, the owner, we go way back, and I've been, Tyler, you need to come on the podcast. He's like, yes, let's plan it. And then he'll say, okay, I'm going to send Casey on. Okay, let's plan it. We've all been too busy to get it done for nearly a year now. It has been a year since y'all
been a year.
jumped on it. Wow, it's hard to believe. So we're really glad to get y'all on here now for the big SHOT Show week, and everybody's excited. Hearing about all the new stuff that's coming, and I think we're going to try. We can't make any promises, but look, I'm looking down the notes here. We're going to try to squeeze some info out of Casey here, see if there's something new coming. So we may get him to talk just a little bit.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff to go over. I mean, we're super excited for 2022 and coming off an excellent 2021 of the maiden voyage of bringing this stuff to market here in the U.S. And I think the sky's the limit.
Yep. Well,
sure.
Casey does know we're going to put the screws to him here at the end of the show to find out some breaking news. We're not going to let him get off. Yeah, he's already prepared for that, I'm sure. But folks might remember very early on in this show's history, Mr. Tyler Adair being on our show as a special guest. So that was
forgot about that. That was way back. Yeah,
and we enjoyed having him on. We'd like to have him on again and talk about not just iRay, but the industry. That's what we talked about before. So
I'm going to say something real quick, and I don't want to go off on a big rabbit trail. Hans right now is just gritting his teeth because he knows I'm a rabbit trail guy. But let's make a point about that. I'd actually forgot. Tyler was on this show, way back. He holds the title as the only outdoor legacy competitor to ever be on the show. Tyler and I were good enough friends that even as competitors that, Tyler owns Ultimate Night Vision, and we had Tyler on the show just because he is one of the longest standing night vision and thermal dealers in the industry. Tyler has been around this show for a very, very long time. When I got into it, he was a huge help to me, and just has been a really, really good guy to me over all the years. So we invited him on the show and said, hey, we're going to have a competitor because we think you bring enough to the table to interview. And now that he owns iRay USA and whatever, I just think it's awesome. And so we're really glad to be working with y'all, and glad to have you here, Casey. So Hans, let's jump into the show.
I think that transitions pretty well. Let's find out, Casey, we get, Jason and I field so many calls every day, and a lot of those people are asking about iRay products. But for those that don't know, give us a brief history of iRay USA, the busy year that y'all have had. And for those that don't know the company, give us a short introduction.
So our company was founded in late 2020 by my CEO. It was kind of a simple thing. We wanted to bring a product to market that first and foremost had the best customer service, hands down, in the industry. We think that's what really drives the market, and keeps you there for a long time, not just a one-hit wonder here and there. So we met with some factory partners and got along with Infrared Outdoor, and it just kind of took off from there. And they have the capacity to really supply, a lot of products. And it's just been our goal to maintain the customer service and the warranty side of things that will allow us to really, hit a home run with this stuff and get as much out there and maintain the quality that the people here in the U.S. deserve and a lot of times expect.
Well, you can tell by Casey's accent that their American headquarters is in Texas. You can't hide that at all, which we're very proud of. We're very proud of. I know that y'all are out near Fort Worth area. So a lot of people wonder, if I'm dealing with iRay, where are they out of? And they say right here, in the Texas area. So that's always good to know and for people to know.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something that you mentioned there was customer service and warranty and those sort of things. That's something for some of the people who may not be aware here, just kind of really tuning in to iRay USA. Y'all are offering a 5-year warranty on all of these optics, which is matched only by Envision. I mean, everybody else in the industry has a shorter warranty. The standard for as long as I've been in this industry has been 3 years. I mean, 3 years, and a couple companies went to 4, and then y'all jumped in here at this 5-year with a lot of lower priced optics. In this, I mean, you've got handhelds now all the way down to whatever $1,700-$1,800 with scopes all the way up to say $6,000. And so these are definitely, mid-range to, mid-high range thermals. So not just the most expensive stuff in the world. I mean, so y'all are offering that 5-year warranty even on your less expensive stuff for guys who may just be getting into this for the first time. And that warranty gets you a lot of sales. And I know you know that.
That's right. And it's something that, we want to be ahead of the game and an industry leader whenever it comes to something like that. I mean, having a great product, obviously it helps a lot, but it's just having the back end to just make somebody feel a lot safer whenever they make that big purchase, that it's not just a one and done, that they're going to be taken care of for a long time. And that's just how strong we stand behind those stuff.
Yeah. And a transferable warranty too at that. So that's a big deal.
That is true.
It's one of the things that I talk to guys that maybe they're a little concerned about, again, making this big purchase. They're like, man, I don't know. And, they're kind of sometimes between a couple brands and they comes out so many times. But that iRay's got a 5-year warranty, right? Yep. And they go, is that transferable? Yep, it is. So that means that if in 2 years I want to get the new one, whatever, I can sell this. And that guy's got comfort in knowing he's got 3 years. Like, yep. I mean, so it's really been a good thing. And we're glad to see that. And I think it's putting pressure on the industry that, 3 years is going to be tough. I mean, it's when somebody's offering 5. So I think it's been a good thing as a whole. But let's do this. Let's talk about some of the stuff y'all had this year. I mean, this would have been a lot easier 6 months ago. We had a couple scopes, but y'all have just been like, I hope you have a list, because I was like racking my brain going, good gracious, what all do they have now? So I don't think, I can't think of a company that has come onto the market in their first year that has, number one, taken the market by this kind of storm, and had so many optics. It isn't like you got 50. Okay. I mean, you've got a good, reasonable amount, but you're building that portfolio from handhelds to helmet mountable to rifle scopes. I mean, there's just a lot going on here. And again, they kind of run the price range gamut, which we like.
Right.
So let's jump into this. And I don't care how you want to run down this list, top to bottom, bottom to top, whatever. Let's talk about what you've got out there.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we have released a lot of products in 2021 in the last 12 months. I mean, I'll kind of start in chronological order. So we released the Ricoh MK1 640 and 384, the RH50 RL42. It's really kind of been the backbone of our lineup for the last year. So, I mean, as some people may know, we have a 640 12 micron, 384 12 micron, runs on a 6 to 8 hour battery pack on both of those, internal recording, Wi-Fi to your phone, the whole 9 yards as far as that goes, as well as of Q4 or Q3 or Q4, compatible with detachable rangefinder. So, you have the ability, once you buy the scope, to have the option to add the rangefinder if you so choose, as well as different mounting options and that sort of thing. Following that one, we released the Bolt TL35, which is a 384 12 micron unit, 3 to 12. Has the most battery life of any unit I've ever seen, with an external battery as well as a 8 hour internal rechargeable. So, I mean, you're looking at 12 hours plus of battery life, just how it comes, for a $32.99 price. It's been probably one of our best sellers as far as bang for your buck. I don't know another unit on the market that can compete with it as far as the value that it brings. And so, with it being a tube style 30 millimeter, the mounting options are endless. Whether it be a bolt action rifle or AR-15, it doesn't really matter. And so that's been a great unit for us as well. And then we brought in the iRay USA Bravo, which is a unit that we designed from the ground up, partnering with our factory, that we took and took American made parts, and built this thing from the ground up using the same sensors, the same screens as some of our other units, and put it all together. And it's been a great unit, especially in that $34.99 price point. It's really been a home run. And then as of recently, we released the Ricoh MK1 35 millimeter 640, the RH35. And this was just a couple of weeks ago, and it's just going to be an exciting scope to see whenever it hits the market, which it did this week. It's really going to fill that gap between, the $39.99 price point and then the $59.99 price point. So it'll be right there in $49.99 in that wheelhouse, and it's going to do really well at a 2 to 8 power with the same specs as the other rangefinder compatible. And then it's all looking up. So I know it's a lot of products to go over, and
well, it's so many that you forgot 4. So you didn't tell us. And this is something y'all have had for a while, but let's go all the way back to the minis. You've got the MH25 and the ML19. Exactly. Tell people about them.
So there's 2 different ones. You have the MH25, which is 640 12 micron, fully helmet mountable, handheld, whichever one you want to choose, 25 millimeter lens. It has it does do recording with a DVR. It's literally, you can fit 3 of them in one hand. They're so small. Then the ML19 is the same size, same thing, just 19 millimeter on a 384 sensor. They're excellent if you have like a Wilcox dual bridge, where I've seen a lot of people run, one night vision, one thermal, and you can flip and use whichever one, as well as, some people run dual thermals. Night vision is great, but it's undeniable. You can see just so much further with thermal, and especially if it's as clear as the minis, then it's excellent. And then we got the cabin series, which is our kind of entry level handhelds. They're in the $2,000. I think the 19 is $1,799, and then the 25 is $2,099. Great little units. They're probably about the size of a handheld rangefinder. They use their own rechargeable batteries, internal recording, Wi-Fi, the whole 9 yards, and at an excellent price point with a 384 12 micron sensor. There's no other handhelds in the market that are using a 12 micron sensor in the 384 in that price range. So you're going to get a much better image for a considerably lower price.
I'll say this, with all the units that you've released this year, which has been a bunch, and the popularity of the Ricoh 640s, the 384s, I picked as my favorite scope under $4,000 was the iRay Bravo. And I'm going to tell you,
hold on one second. I'm going to interrupt you. For the people, when Hans says he picked it, we just finished up the Late Night Vision Show Best of series. So we do that for every year. 2021 Best of. Those things, if by the time you're watching this, they're all out. You can go back and find them. So that's true. The official pick, they're going to get the big fancy award. Is that
the surprise? There you go. Okay, so here's
it's a surprise.
Anyway,
not a surprise if you've been watching YouTube, but no, that it is. It was one of the top scopes under $4,000. Hans's pick for sure.
Yeah. So that, when people right now, they're talking about Bravos more than anything else at this point. It is something that we can hardly keep in stock. The popularity of it, the fact that I'm sure there's a lot of pride with that scope because you guys built it, you designed it. It is your own, and you've got, comes with an ADM mount, with all the upgrades, the magnetic USB port, Jason always laughs when I say this, the tactile buttons on top.
Like, explain that to those out here in East Texas.
I can't explain
He can't do it. He can't explain
it. Might be a fake word. I don't know, but
we call them hard stop buttons.
Hard stop buttons. Okay, there you go.
I don't know what that means
positive
either.
Clicks on those buttons.
Yeah, exactly. And you got
the little things that set it apart.
It's the little things.
And you got the housing, which is, like I said, I've said before, the only thermal scope that's not black. But you get people calling and say, man, that's going to look good on my rifle. But that scope, I will say, here of late has been the most popular. But I want to put you on the spot a little bit, because this transitions from the Bravo and about what we're going to talk about. The very first marketing video that you guys came out with, it's set. I still hear about the marketing video. Unbelievable produced video. Y'all got people so excited about the iRay USA brand and this particular scope I'm going to ask you about. You broke into the market with this marketing video. You got people excited. People want to know, and I'm going to put you on the spot for it. The iRay USA Alpha, the big brother of the Bravo that's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
First of all, we've heard about it. It was the first scope that we learned about. We've heard about it. People call all the time. Where is it? Some people think it's already out. A lot of people think that it's already available. And so, are we getting the Alpha this year? If we are, when can we expect it?
Yeah. So the Alpha, we don't give up on it yet. Um, it is coming. It's just, in this year, and I'm sure other people in the industry have seen this too, but it's just some of the American made components, whether they be connectors or something to do with the polymer housing. There's a lot of components that go in to make one unit. And so whether there be 50 components, if you only have 49 of those components, then you don't have a scope.
Right.
So there's been some supply chain issues on some of our American component manufacturers that have kind of had to keep pushing back and pushing back. We do have a few of those units that we have been R&D and been testing and evaluating to make sure that whenever it does hit the market, that it is going to live up to the hype that said video has made for us. And it's going to takes a little bit more time whenever you have that one product that's going to set you apart. You don't want to send it out or release it and only be able to make a few here and there. So we just want to come at it all the way, and that's going to be happening Q1 of 2022.
Oh man,
Q1. All right,
that might be the biggest breaking news of the show right there, y'all.
That's right.
And just so people know, the Alpha, and I said the big brother of the Bravo, it's a fully custom thermal rifle scope. It is the 640 version of what the Bravo is. So that's, man, I can't wait. Hopefully your friends over here will get a couple advanced units to test out for a little bit.
That's right.
Remember us in the mix. We appreciate
that's
it.
Right. So let's talk about, this is another good transition, talking about what's coming this year. Tell us, we cannot do one of these shows if we don't try to pin you down and say, is there anything new coming? Is there anything you can announce? Is there anything you can tell the Late Night Vision Show listeners and the world on YouTube? You got something new?
Yeah, we got a couple of new things. All right. The first part of 2022, the units we're coming out with, if there's one word to describe it, it's versatile. As far as we're bringing a handheld to market, it's going to be called the Zoom. It's going to be, I can't really disclose the price point just yet, but full on 640, 12 micron, internal recording, Wi-Fi to your phone, removable, rechargeable battery pack. And the greatest thing of it all is, instead of a digital magnification scope, it will have two types of optical magnification. Therefore, it'll have a dual focus. So at a 1.6 power, you'll be able to focus and as optimal as any other unit, as well as a 3.2 using optical magnification, and you'll have two steps of optimal focus and on the magnification, as well as getting up there with digital. So essentially, you're going to have two units, a lower magnification unit and a higher magnification unit, wrapped into one handheld scope, and it's going to be a groundbreaker. So
I want to talk about this for just a minute. First thing I want to say is we're pre-recording this before SHOT Show right now. We're just a few days out, so they don't have the pricing set. Obviously, he's announcing this, so it's going to be public when you're watching this. And I'm assuming by that time we'll probably have pricing on it by the time this airs, hopefully. the week of SHOT Show. So if you're kind of watching this going, what's going on? We're just a few days out from the show, so they don't have everything public yet. But I want to say something about this Zoom. So I saw one of these for a number of hours. Okay, they sent one of these things over, and Tyler was like, "Hey, you can see it for the weekend," and I got it on Saturday or Friday night. Had to send it back on Monday, so I didn't have it very long. But so I want to be sure that people understand what Casey's describing, because to my knowledge, this is going to be the first thermal optic on the U.S. market that can do this. I've never seen one, if there's anything like this out there. It's for sure not in the civilian hunting world. What he's describing is not like a lens you've got to take off and put another lens on. It looks like a normal handheld, but there are two lenses built into that. And so you can basically, when he's talking about focus them, they independently focus. You can focus one, and then you can twist and it's gonna allow you to have two separate lenses built into this thing for optical zoom. So what he mentioned in the past, it's all digital zoom, which is very, very true. Anytime you zoom up a thermal scope, you're doing it digitally. So you cut your resolution in half every time you double the magnification, and it just gets grainier and grainier and more pixelated. But what he's describing is black magic when it comes to the thermal world. We haven't ever seen this. I mean, this is a big deal of literally having two lenses and getting a true optical zoom. We've seen nothing like this. This is definitely going to be groundbreaking, and I cannot wait to really get my hands on one of these for more than a rainy 24-hour weekend. I want to get out there with it, but that is huge. And also one thing, and you might have said this, but this takes the same battery pack as the Ricoh line of scopes. So if you, am I right?
You are right. Yes.
Okay. You gave me a funny look. I was like, oh, that's right.
No, I was going to start talking.
Yeah. So it's a big deal for any guy that already owns one of your Ricohs. This is going to be the logical handheld. He's already got battery packs. Shove them in the side and go. Yeah.
That's it. And then, I mean, as of units that are on the market now, you either have a low magnification handheld or you have a high magnification handheld. And so each of those, they have their pros and they have their cons. And so, but there's never been one that can do both.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, if you've got a Ricoh, picking up this monocular that uses the same battery, you could have a 640 resolution 1.6 base magnification monocular or a 3.2. I mean, you're right. It's
not or and.
Yeah.
I mean, so you think about that Hans and I are really, really big on low magnification for scanning. Just a big deal for us. I personally love the MH25 Mini that we talked about there. I use that on a lanyard around my neck. I don't wear a helmet, so around my neck, deer hunting, hog hunting. I mean, I love the little bitty thing because it's so small. And but with that said, there are definitely times that I want a little more, maybe even more than say a 1.5, 2 power. Sometimes we're on really, really big fields, coyote hunting. Maybe I don't mind a 2.5 or 3 power. So what you're talking about, you can literally own one optic and do both. I mean, like you said, the 1.6 and the 3.2. So I know Hans hates the word game changer or that phrase, but it's I'll say this, it's revolutionary. It's really, really big deal. And I am excited to see what this does in the market.
I don't hate the word game changer. It's just way overused because everything that comes out is declared a game changer.
So let me ask this question. If we take the first thermal optic on the U.S. hunting market that has optical zoom with 2 lenses, Hans. Can we say that that's a game changer? Is that acceptable? What do you need it to do? What does
revolutionary.
It have to do
I prefer revolutionary as a term.
Revolutionary.
What else you got, Casey?
Don't use the word revolution. We'll have like the YouTube monitors watching us or something.
Oh gosh.
So
well, that just red flagged us anyway. So Casey,
exactly.
So you talked about the zoom. Anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah, we have one that's going to be called the Rico Micro. So what it's going to be is it goes right back to what I said as far as it's versatile. It's going to be a very, very small 640 12 micron unit. It's going to be a handheld. It's going to be a clip-on. It's going to be a dedicated rifle scope. It's also going to be helmet mounted. So this thing will literally do it all in one. It's going to have internal recording. It's going to run on an 18650 battery, and you can fit 2 of them in one hand. It's going to be a really, really big deal for a price point that's never been seen before for something that's as versatile as this is in a 640 12 micron 19 millimeter lens. It's going to be a wicked little unit. It's not going to be necessarily compatible for your guys that run 56 millimeter lenses on their, or 56 millimeter daytime scopes. It's going to be more of your tactical scope clip on, 1-6, 1-8. But man, it's going to be legit.
I'm going to say something here. Hans and I have had a little early access to look at this thing, and image quality,
fantastic,
unbelievable.
It's
is
like that small or so with the eye cup, unbelievably small. But
I literally walked outside last night with it just to check. It was 20 degrees, crystal clear, perfect conditions. And I've been all night, checking my pasture for hogs, looking around. I'm using a just huge array of Hans can attest to this. You go look on top of my gun safe. There is just scopes and binoculars that I'm just constantly testing. And I pull something different every time. I grabbed that thing last night after looking multiple times with all these other optics. Folks, I'm not going to go on the record and say anything right here that, I wish I could get back later, but I'm saying this thing, insane image quality. I mean, it is unbelievable. It is just a 1 power, optical. So no magnification. This thing is legit. It looks
does
really
have
good.
magnification though. So
wait a minute, I thought it was a 1 power.
It's a 2 power. There's 2 different modes. And so you can hit monocular mode, or you can go to clip-on mode. So
that's correct.
Monocular mode is a 2 power.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know if it was actually making it 2 power or if it was just changing the way the screen looked. So, okay, I'm glad to know that. That's actually a 2 power.
Finally, somebody gets to correct Jason on this show. It's about dang time.
I am glad, because here's the way we get all this stuff. We get all this stuff, and it's in a box. There's no manuals. There's no nothing. Hans and I are like, I think the batteries go in here. We don't have a clue.
So,
sometimes it's just a brown box special.
That's right.
Exactly.
So we love that. Hey, we love it. That means it's stuff that nobody else is saying. So let me ask you this. You may have already said it, but when can we expect to get more information on the Zoom and the Micro? Any possible release times on that? Anything?
Yeah, so we're looking at that 3rd week of January. So looking at SHOT Show week, roundabout, whether it be the opening day or the day before, just to give us a little bit more time to another weekday is seems like a long time for us now. As busy as it's been. So it's just sometime in that span.
Okay, so we got Yeah, we got the Alpha the first quarter of January,
Mhm.
and we've got the Zoom and the Micro basically sometime in January, whether third week, fourth week, but sometime in that first month. So we're the same month we're in right now. But yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And just to be clear, because you said this, and I want to go back to this to be sure, because this is going to be got brought up 1,000 times. I know when people hear about it. The Micro as a clip-on is going to be you clipped on only with a Picatinny rail adapter, correct? Not
No,
or maybe.
dovetail to a helmet.
No. I'm talking about onto a rail as a clip-on, onto in front of a rifle scope. It's not going to use adapters on the front of your scope, so it's going to clip on the rail.
A Picatinny style, not necessarily, locked to the end of your scope.
Correct. Okay, so that's the number one. So that I'm saying this out loud because I want people to understand this is going to be for your AR style shooter. Okay,
exactly.
And you already said it, but I kind of want to emphasize this. This is going to be made for your 1 to 6 guys. This is not made for your 3 to 9 or 4 to 14, scopes. This is really made for the tactical type shooter in those low powers. Okay. I just want to be clear because there's a lot of misconceptions, clip-ons. It's something that Hans and I fight on the phone daily with guys that they're just new to it. They haven't seen it. They don't know exactly what they are. And, I had a guy yesterday that he had a scope that he had bought that was a base 6.5 power long range scope. And he wanted to put a clip on it. And I'm trying to explain to him, like, it's not made for that, but it's specifically this scope or this,
for sure.
I hate to call it a scope, whatever it is. It's everything. It's a 4-in-1.
Right. And so, it'll also work with like your 3-power ACOG and things like that. It's just, not just a super, super high base or oncoming magnification.
Yeah. Got it.
It's that, as well as the ocular lens, isn't giant by any means. Everything on the unit is small. So anything
that makes sense.
Like that would work just fine.
Yeah. Well, listen, I tell you what, folks, my head's spinning. There's a lot of stuff that KZ talked about here. You got to think about literally 1 year on the market, and they, we chose, as we already talked about, the Bravo. We also chose the Ricoh 640, the MK1 RH50 as our number one thermal rifle scope under $6,000. So they got an award for that. We're talking about the company's first year here, on the market. They've won 2 awards from us, which, and to me, says something, because anybody knows Hans and I are rarely early adopters. We're the guys that like to see things through, but and how they pan out, we knew, with who was behind the company and what was coming, it was going to be good. Y'all have not disappointed. Like you said, you've got rifle scopes starting at $3,300, going up to $6,000. You got some of the best image quality that you can get out there. You've got scopes that you can add laser rangefinders to after you buy the scope, which is, not a common thing in this industry. You've got handheld monoculars, like you said, starting at $1,700-$1,800. You've got now handhelds. You didn't give us the price yet, so we don't know what it's going to be, but we know it's going to be more on the upper end. 640 with optical zoom. You've got now this new Micro that's coming. That's going to be, like you said, versatile. Do all these things. There's a lot going on and has gone on at iRay USA. So I can't wait to see what 2020 brings. But we are very excited to be on board, and we wish y'all the best of luck. And so definitely thanks for coming on the show, Casey.
Yeah, thank you guys. We're glad to be here. We're looking forward to an excellent 2022 and the future after that. So thank y'all guys.
Well, absolutely. We'll go ahead, Hans.
I was going to say he's going to have a couple of trophies to find a spot for here pretty soon.
Mhm.
And you actually get a real trophy. It's nice, man. I'm telling you.
That's
I mean,
right.
better buy you a big trophy case, for every year. So,
Yeah, that's right. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this show. Again, it's been Casey Cochran with iRay USA. We will have Casey back on the show. Hopefully, they got something new and exciting in the future. We'll get them back on here and let them announce it and talk about it. And so, if you need to reach out to them for anything, if you want to see their lineup, you can go to irayusa.com. They're on all the social medias. Go give them a follow over there. They put out some amazing content on social media. If you are into, hog and coyote hunting, and you love to see this amazing video, go check out, again, iRay USA on the socials. Obviously, you can find Hans as well. He puts out some okay stuff, but
I mean, it's okay. It's not as good as theirs, but
that's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, folks, we hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for being here. As always, if you're looking for any kind of night vision thermal, you can always go to outdoorlegacygear.com. Hans and I appreciate y'all. And if you stay tuned to these shows, if you're watching, if this is the first one you've seen, we've got a whole lot of these coming out, all the manufacturers. It is SHOT Show week, all kinds of new stuff. Stick to the Late Night Vision show for all those breaking news.
Yeah. And I want to plug also another former guest of our show, James O'Neill. So O'Neill Ops put out just some recent, he's been putting out some great iRay content, but recently I know that somebody affiliated and works with you, Rich, went up there and hunted with him recently. And man, they put together some just awesome coyote hunting content with the Rico. So anyway, thank you for joining us again, Casey. We hope to see you again soon on the show, maybe in person sometime soon. But y'all stay tuned. Keep checking in here. We've got a lot more interviews to do. We've got our show from the show, maybe. If I can talk my boss into it, we're going to see what we're going to do for that week. Look, I'm shaking his head saying no. Anyway, y'all stay safe in fields. Keep making them bacon pancakes. We'll see y'all soon.